Hi everybody, it's me again, Martin. Wow, what a video David Kurten's put out today. The more I listen to this guy, the more I like him. Look, you don't know me. I used to be a really patriotic person, and where I am today, very unhappy with the system I'm being forced to live in, and not happy with the royal family anymore. And that's because, as a lad growing up, I was a really patriotic, loved my country person. You couldn't say anything wrong about my country. And I loved the royal family as well. But things changed when I started to read, and when I started to research certain things. And which has taken me to the point of where I am today. Very, very unhappy. But anyway, right, I'll leave you with this video now. This is a really good one. Well, David, you've certainly done well with this one. But also as well, when you listen to this video, it's on YouTube. Now, our platform, the major platforms out there, you've got Facebook and YouTube, let's say. They're controlled by the cabal, and we have to be very careful what we say. And David only touches on points here. I know just listening to him with the way he says it, he could go a lot deeper, and I could also cover many things about the system, the people in it, and the World Economic Forum and the royal family. But anyway, let's listen to the video because I think he puts it across really well. I'll put it over now.
Everybody, now this weekend was the coronation of King Charles III, who is now King of the United Kingdom and Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and 11 other countries around the world. I haven't commented on it hardly at all up until the event, up until now. One, because I was concentrating almost entirely on the local elections this year, which took place on the Thursdays. There was no time for me to even think about the coronation. And also because I know that people have very, very different views on the coronation, on the royal family, which are very, very deeply held. And I myself have a mixed feelings about the coronation. But what I say is this: you can appreciate the coronation service, which was created by our forefathers when this nation was truly, deeply Christian, while still having deep reservations about the people in the service and who attended the service. And that's my feelings towards it. I watched it on Saturday morning and I thought it was an absolutely beautiful service because it was written by our forefathers, as I say. And it can't help but show this country, the United Kingdom, as being a Christian country where the monarch makes an oath to uphold the law of the land and to be the defender of the faith, the Protestant Reformed Christian faith, and to uphold the laws of God in this country. And if you uphold the 10 Commandments, for example, then you can't go wrong as a nation. No. Other countries have customs and values and principles which are the exact opposite of our 10 Commandments. For example, thou shalt not murder. But in some countries, honor killing is an accepted part of the culture. If someone shames you or your family, you can go out and kill them just because they make you feel ashamed or something. That's not part of our culture. Our culture is Christian. Do not murder. And that should be upheld. For example, that's just a very simple, banal example, but it's very profound as well. So yeah, I thought it was an absolutely beautiful service, particularly the playing of the music by Handel, Zadok the priest, and the Orthodox chanting by the Byzantine choir. I love that, and I do love the heritage that comes through in the pageantry of the service. Yet there were some people in the audience that are not good people. Let's just put it like that, to use kind of mollified words. There's people in the audience like Tony Blair and Prince Andrew. I won't say anything about them here, but we all have our knowledge and opinions about them. Then there's Penny Mordaunt, who is holding this sword for an hour or so. I think she is very, very bad politically. She was the person who wrote the action plan for the alphabet, LGB, etc. ideology in 2017 and signed it off when she was a minister in government. And that was the year that the fake conservatives brought in relationships and sex education in schools, which now is teaching children all kinds of things that they shouldn't be taught. She was there at the forefront of implementing that in law. And people who should know better, who are normally sensible, are gushing over this person because she was wearing an unusual dress and holding a sword for a couple of hours and looks like she's out of the Hunger Games, and going, oh, isn't she amazing? Because she's wearing a nice dress and holding a sword, she should be the Prime Minister. No, she should not be the Prime Minister. Okay, so let's just put that one to bed. And then there's King Charles himself. Now, the monarch is supposed to be apolitical, but he clearly, over all his life, has been completely political, not least in pushing climate alarmism and net zero policies, which are political, and he should be staying out of those things. My party, the Heritage Party, has completely the opposite view to King Charles on climate alarmism. We would say that we should continue to use oil, coal, gas, petrol and diesel cars, and we should not be implementing 15-minute cities and bicycle lanes on trunk routes, etc., etc. He has a political view, and he shouldn't be using his position where he is required to be apolitical in order to be partisan in certain political issues. Whether he continues to do that now he is crowned king, we have to wait and see. But the signs are not good. He is completely entangled in the World Economic Forum. But he has pledged an oath. He has taken the coronation oath. He said the words that he will uphold the law, he will uphold the nation, and he will be the defender of the faith. There was lots of concern that he would say that he would just be the defender of faith, but he did say he would be the defender of the faith, the Christian faith, the Protestant Christian faith. So those are his words. He kind of looked rather pained when he said them, but he said them. So he needs to stick to those words, and he needs to be held to account because he's taken on the role of monarch, and he has sworn the coronation oath. We shall see what happens, but if he goes straight back to Klaus Schwab, then obviously we've got a problem. And so I have those deep reservations about him being the monarch. There were some strange things, however, that I noticed, and probably a lot of other people noticed as well. Firstly, when he was anointed with oil, which he has to be as part of the coronation oath, there were 3 big screens went up around him, so nobody could see the moment when the Archbishop of Canterbury anointed him with oil. But that surely needs to be witnessed publicly so that it can be seen that he has actually been anointed with oil before he gets up and sits on the throne. When Queen Elizabeth Queen Elizabeth II was crowned in her coronation, you could see that happen publicly. There were no screens around her. But suddenly, for the first time, at this key point in the whole service, for the first time, screens went around, so there was no witness to him actually being anointed with oil. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say he wasn't, but nobody could see that he was, which is very odd. Surely you would want that to be seen publicly so that there are witnesses to actually be able to confirm that this actually happened, which has to happen for him to actually go and sit on the throne as the king. Strange. The other very odd thing was the carpeting plan. Now, I've never seen any carpet in any Westminster Abbey ceremony, apart from a red carpet they put down sometimes. Normally they just leave the floor bare, because it is a lovely bare floor. You know, it's the stone floor and so on is very nice in Westminster Abbey. Why did they put down yellow and blue carpeting so that the whole floor of Westminster Abbey looks like a Ukrainian flag? This is very obvious symbolism, but I mean, this is absolute nonsense. This is a British service, an English service. You know, it's both English and British. Why on earth was the floor carpeting decor set out in the colours of Ukraine? Obviously, because there's the government and the establishment is totally getting involved in the conflict in Ukraine in a manner which they shouldn't be getting involved in. So nothing was said about this, but it's there for everybody to see that this is what these people are supporting. And they're supporting the wrong future for the world, a world which has a war in its near and medium-term future, war with Russia. And we shouldn't be pursuing that. We should be de-escalating this conflict, not stoking it up, and we should be trying to, as President Trump says, he could end this in 24 hours because he knows Putin, he knows Zelensky, he could end the war and then just stop this from happening. But it seems the establishment in the United Kingdom is hell-bent on supporting the Zelensky regime to the point where they actually make it the floor plan of the coronation of the monarch, which hasn't happened at all in the last 70 years. This is how obsessed they are with this. Let's just say that. But that floor plan was wrong. They should have just left it with the bare stone flooring of Westminster Abbey. That was a very odd piece of symbolism in the coronation, which I think detracted somewhat from the fact that this was about crowning a British monarch. It's not about signalling your support for another country abroad, whatever that country may be. So that was odd. But despite that, it was a beautiful service. The pageantry was beautiful. As I say, it's a service that is created for a purpose that goes along with our constitution that has been in place for centuries. And I think if you deride it too much, yes, there are some people in there who are very, very questionable. And I'm not using strong language here. I could use much stronger language about a lot of those people. But if you deride it too much, you throw out the baby with the bathwater. And I don't think that's the thing to do, because, you know, then you go down the road of saying, well, let's just burn everything down, have ground zero, and then just make something new. What you're going to get then is a republic with President Blair or President Starmer or President Johnson or President Corbyn, which would be even worse than what we have now. Although, what we have now is not the best, of course. I totally understand that, because our monarch should be for the people, not the World Economic Forum. But there we go. So that's my thoughts on the coronation, and I thought I should say this because I know I haven't said anything up to now, and a lot of people have got lots of different opinions, but you can have this nuanced opinion, as I say, I think, where you can appreciate what our forefathers have done in writing our constitution, but realise that it can go wrong if you have the wrong people, and you can still deplore some of the people while honouring the constitution of this country. So those are my thoughts. Do let me know what you think, okay, in the comments. That would be very interesting to hear your thoughts about what you think as well about the events of this weekend. Okay, thanks for listening, everyone. God bless you all. Good morning, everyone.
Wow, doesn't David say that well? He said so much without going too deep into certain subjects, because obviously he's been really careful because this is on YouTube. But there you go. Well, anyway, the more I listen to this guy, the more I like him. We need candidates all around the country for the Heritage Party. Come on, guys, start putting your names forward. All right, there's no real criteria to this. You just got to do a bit of work. If you don't like things that are going on around you, join the Heritage Party. I can't, it's new. They need members. But this is, if you're not happy, this is the party to join. Anyway, I'll leave it now. Speak to you again soon. Thanks very much for listening. Bye.